I've been gone for a minute now. I'm back with the jump off. Hey. What's up, everyone? Oh my God. So where have I been? What's been going on? So listen, your girl has been gone for the last few weeks. Okay. I have been a few places. And yeah, so we're back today. I know y'all missed me. I missed y'all too. And I wanted to make sure that whatever I jumped back in and started to do again would be very beneficial. So I got something good coming for you guys. Are you ready? You ready? All right. So I am going to be doing a relocation series. Absolutely. So I am going to be talking about planning and research and moving and expenses and saving and all of that good stuff. The purpose of doing this series is because I myself relocated to another state. I didn't know many people, no job, no real plan. And I did this about 9 months ago. And I plan to definitely do a 1-year update on everything. But for now, I'm just going to give you some information because it's a lot of people on my timeline that talk about moving and talk about relocating. And I encourage it 100% if you have the means to get out of your hometown and relocate. Talk about shaking the table, talking about getting out of your comfort zone, just move somewhere. And you don't have to necessarily move somewhere that you don't have family and friends, because I really feel like being anywhere away from home, it just moves you out of your comfort zone because you have to learn new things, places, people, and environments. We're going to be talking about relocating, and specifically for me, relocating to Houston, Texas. Are y'all ready to get into this series? Video episode 1. Let's jump into it. Make sure you got your pen and paper because this information is going to be very, very beneficial. I'm going to be dropping some gems. And as this series continues, you are going to have a lot of information that you'll need if you're looking to relocate. And again, it doesn't have to be Houston, but if you are looking to relocate, period, then these tips will be helpful for you. So let's get into the first subject. Why Houston? Every time I meet somebody new or if I'm out mingling here in the city, people always be like, why did you move to Houston? What made you move to Houston? It's like the number one asked question. And I often tell people, I just really wanted to know what it felt like to experience life in an unfamiliar, different city. Right? That's one reason. Another reason why I moved to Houston is because I had a friend, and we used to be friends some years ago. However, we had made like a pact that we were going to move to Houston, Texas, and we were going to be neighbors, and we were just gonna like live this life in Houston. Now, I had never been to Houston. I didn't have any friends or family here, but when me and this person were talking, it just sounded right. Like, yes, we gonna do it. And it kind of always stuck with me. Don't ask me why, I don't know, but Houston always stuck with me ever since me and my friend or old friend used to talk about moving to Houston. So yeah, it's pretty much because it stuck with me after making these plans, and it's almost like I manifested it from years ago and I didn't even realize what I was doing or what was going on. But yeah, it's very safe to say that I manifested a life in Houston, Texas before I even knew I would be living here. And again, I wanted to shake up some things. I was so unhappy at my job. It was just dragging out. I felt very depressed in a way. I felt like I had hit a ceiling, not only at my job, but just in Michigan, period. Like, I felt like I seen a vision and I know what I wanted to do, but I just felt like this was not the location to do it. This is not the location. I'm talking about Michigan. It was not the location that I saw myself like creating and living my dreams. So it's like, what you gonna do? You gonna cry about it or you gonna do something about it? Well, first of all, I'm gonna do both. We definitely gonna cry, but I knew that I needed to not only cry, but take some action. So I decided to move to Houston 2 weeks before my 29th birthday. So it was like March 15th, right? My birthday is April 1st. And it was March 15th of last year, so 2020. And I talked to my mentor and I'm chopping it up with him. I'm like, listen, I feel like it's now. I feel like this is it. Now, mind you, let me give you some backstory. In 2019, during my book signing in November, I was telling everybody, I'm like, yeah, in 2022, I'm going to move to Houston and I'm going to create this life for myself, right? So it was always in my head for 2022. However, when Corona happened and we all got sent to work remotely from home, that was at like the first week of March, right? So I'm doing this job from home. I'm hating it, of course. I'm like, no, I can't do this the rest of the year. Something has to give. Now, I wasn't really feeling the idea of leaving one corporate company to go work for another. The amount of money that I was making with no degree, the position that I was in, the resources that I had accumulated over my 7.5 years with this company, I just did not see myself leaving that and going somewhere to start from the bottom, right? I knew that I would not be making as much money as I was making and have the resources and flexibility and all the good stuff that comes with tenure, right? I did not want to start over from scratch at another corporate company because corporate was not my passion. Yes, corporate opened up a lot of doors for me, allowed me to obtain a lot of things as far as like financially and being able to take care of myself. However, I'm passion driven, and if there's no fire there's no fuel there, I cannot stay there, and money included. They could have even gave me a bomb raise and I would have still left because I cannot be bought. My happiness and my peace does not have a dollar sign in front of it, if you catch my drift. If you like what I'm saying, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe, because listen, don't allow a job to pay you to forget about your dreams. I'm going to let that marinate because it's a lot of people out here that I'm talking to. Do not allow a job to pay you to forget about your dreams, because when you are living your dreams and you are living your purpose and you are walking in your authenticity, the amount of money or just wealth and abundance that you accumulate is a given anyway, okay? So it's like when you really step outside the box and step outside your comfort zone, God is going to bless you abundantly in wealth and freedom and all that good stuff that comes with trusting and having faith. Now, I always believed in manifestation, and I knew that I was blessed and I knew that I was favored even back home. But when you go somewhere by yourself, when all you got is faith, all you got is trust, all you got is a mind that you have to create positive thoughts with, because you don't really know what tomorrow gonna look like, next week gonna look like, or next month gonna look like, your ability to manifest and trust and walk a line of I can't see but I know, it really heightens, it really intensifies. And that's why I say jump off the cliff. Jump off the cliff. Is it scary? Hell yeah. But is it worth it? Absolutely. Okay. And I am still in my phase of falling off the cliff. Like I jumped last year, but but it's a slow fall. And what I mean is, you just can't believe that one time to jump off the cliff. Like, no, you got to keep believing even on your way down, even as you're falling, even as you're descending, because you have to know that God has a purpose for your life specifically. Everybody was put on this earth for a reason. And you don't really find out your true perfect purpose until you jump off that cliff and allow God to guide you. I'm a very independent person, and I like to control things in my life. Like I'm not a controlling person. I don't necessarily want to control you, but me, I like to have my reins in my hand and I'm controlling everything. This experience taught me that if you want to go far, you have to surrender. You have to relinquish and release all control. Because if you feel like you're gonna control something, then you got the wrong idea. We don't have any control. Everything is written, said, and time stamped at somebody else's time. So it's never on our time. It's on somebody else's time. And that has probably been one of the biggest lessons for me, taking this journey, relocating my life. Okay, so that's my why. And bear with me as I'm looking at my notes on my laptop, because of course I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys good information. So now the planning part comes into play. So once I decided that I wanted to move, it was like I turned my world upside down, but in a good way. So thank God that I had very supportive friends and family was like, you would be the perfect person to make this leap. Like, I see this for you. I support you 100%. I stand with you. Go be great. You need those type of people in your life that don't want to hold you back or talk you out of it. They like, I am here for you. Let me know what you need. Go be great and make it happen and come get us when you're done. Okay? And I love my people, my tribe, my circles. I thank God for them all the time, because everybody does not have a support system, and not a day go by that I take them for granted. You know what I'm saying? I don't take people for granted. If you are good to me, I want to be great to you. So that's just how I am. So let's talk about the planning. So once I figured out that I was moving, then it came saving, budgeting, and the finance part. So the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to pay off all of my credit cards. Why? Because I knew that I was quitting my job, and I didn't know what was going to happen. So I'm like, if I need a fail safe or just some financial support, I want to be able to have my credit cards for use if I need them, right? So I paid off all of my credit card debt, okay? I had already started my credit journey in 2019, but I was just making payments, not the minimum payment, but I was making payments at a slower pace. When I knew that I was moving, I was dropping $500, $1,000, whatever I needed to pay to get them credit cards all down to a zero balance, right? I was so proud of myself that I did that. The next thing I needed to do, I had never been to Houston. I never had even been to Texas. And I knew that I wanted to come here to at least check out some areas, apartment shop. So I spent a lot of days and nights just on Zillow, on Apartment Finder, just looking at different areas. Thank God that one of my friends knew a girl down here who was able to give me some zip codes, like, okay, stay away from these areas, but this is a good area over here. So make sure you do your research, and I have another video coming about that, about areas to live in Houston if you're interested. But this was just part of my planning and research, so let's combine them together. Excuse me. Let's combine the planning and research together. So once I knew what areas to stay away from and what areas that I could see myself living in, then I was apartment shopping, right? I probably had about 11 apartments on my list, and I planned a trip to come to Houston. Now, I had planned this trip to come in June. Corona said, right? I had to cancel my trip. It was a no-fly thing, and it was just crazy. Mind you, I'm moving in the middle of a pandemic, all right? A lot of pandemonium going on. Pandemonium. Yeah. I had about 11 apartments on my list. So when I came down July 22nd of last year, I flew down here, me, my mom, and my best friend. So supportive, I love them. And every day I saw like 3 apartments. I was here like 3 or 4 days. Every day, you want to call and schedule tours. So because it was the pandemic, I did a lot of self-guided tours where they would just give me the key and be like, oh, go walk around. And then there was a couple that actually walked me around themselves. But I'm very structured and organized. So every day I had an apartment or multiple apartment showings listed and lined up throughout the day. So when I got here, I went to see these apartments, and it's so important to see these apartments. If you can come down here, anywhere you going, go see the apartment, because what it looks like on them pictures may not necessarily be what it looks like in person. Okay, it was one apartment, it was super nice, but when I say a cockroach this big flew out the closet when we opened it, when I say we hit that hallway and sprint, and we didn't even tell the lady we left. I sprinted so fast to the car, like, no Lord, not today. Okay, we opened the closet, it flew out the closet. A cockroach, it was like this big. No, absolutely not. So come see the apartment. If you got somebody that can come down here for you and FaceTime you the whole time, just make it happen. Do not trust the pictures that you see on the internet 100%. And again, I'm going to go into more depth with areas and apartments and stuff in another video, but I'm just telling you about my research and planning part. So I paid off my debt. I found a list of apartments. I came down here and saw them, right? So after I did that, I had picked one, came back home, applied, sent all my information, boom. God said, this is yours, the one I wanted, I got. Okay. So, when you are planning, let's talk about expenses and savings and stuff. Now, a lot of people, I don't have a magic number for you to save, but what I will tell you is, if you plan on shipping furniture down to wherever you're moving, so for me, I had a packing company or a shipping company. So I packed everything myself in boxes. And then like a few days before I came down here, a company shipped my stuff. My furniture, I sold a lot of furniture and stuff, but like my bed and the stuff that I wanted to bring down here, the boxes, they shipped it. Now that was pretty expensive. I think I spent maybe over $3,000, and it was a horror story. Like, they lost my stuff. So I end up having a table completely lost, a table completely broken, and yeah, needless to say, I would not recommend that shipping company. Just do your research and make sure that the company that you booked through doesn't use a third party. Because what it was the company that I booked through had like 4.5 stars and highly rated and all that. But what they don't tell you is that a third party company actually moved your stuff, and that's who broke my stuff, and that's who lost my stuff. And they gave me so much back and forth. I even had insurance, but to come to find out, the insurance was it was some bull crap. They wanted to give me like $30. I took it as a loss, and that was that. So just make sure you're doing your research on the company that's gonna ship your stuff down here. The next thing I paid for is the trip coming down here. So I drove my Jeep, and paying for gas, paying for hotel, paying for just everything. Have cash or money on hand to pay for expenses, okay? This is not including apartment deposits, apartment security, renter's insurance, your rent, any amenity fees that your apartments may charge, like trash and maintenance and all that stuff. I would tell you to have like 3 times your rent saved up, and a little extra if you can, because you just never know. You never know. Like, I end up coming down here during the middle of a freeze, right? That happened back in February of 2021. And everybody was telling me like, oh my God, this hasn't happened for 7 years or 9 years. Like, you just so happened to catch it this year. So I was in a position to be able to pay for a hotel because I was out of water and heat for 3 days. And if need be, I was in a position to go to a hotel and stay for as many days as I needed to until my power and stuff came on. Thank God he blessed me with somebody I was able to stay with for a few days. But like I'm saying, you just never know what's gonna happen. So make sure that you have enough funds to cover yourself, okay? I'm going to talk about job searches and all that in another video, but I really just wanted to take this video to talk about why I chose Houston, the planning, the saving, your current expenses, and any future expenses that you may incur, okay? Before you decide to make this move, save like crazy. Like, save for stuff you don't even know you might need money for. Just save, save, save. Now, granted, you can look on YouTube and you can find people who moved and relocated with $200, $500, $1,000. That worked out for them. For the comfort of me, I knew I wanted to save well over that amount because I didn't want to put myself in a position where I could be homeless or something could happen and I'm trying to, get people to give me money. Because mind you, I quit my job, a very good paying job, but I knew that that was not my passion. And I knew that in order for me to level up and create a life that I truly desire and that truly would allow me to live financially the way that I see in my vision, that job wasn't going to do it for me. It's not going to do it if you're making somebody else rich. Meanwhile, I'm not rich. I'm just comfortable. There's a difference. And money is not everything. Abundance is. So I have an abundance of everything that I may need to live the happy and peaceful life that I desire, that I am cultivating, that I manifest every day. Okay? So, again, I hope that this video, the first one, is helpful. Plan, research, save, and make sure that this move is not for anybody else but for you. Okay? I hope y'all rocking with me. I hope that you really can take this information in, pass it on to somebody else if you know that they are relocating, but just make sure that you're doing what you need to do before you up and just move. It takes time, it takes planning, it takes a lot, but it's doable. It's doable, it's scary, but it's worth it, okay? Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned for the next video where we will be talking about areas to live in, areas to stay away from, and I'm gonna show y'all a map of Houston and maybe some more things in the second video. This is a relocation series. Get into it. I will see y'all next time. Bye.